Hey there, Go Destruction here. Today I'm bringing you a review of the Hiya toy Shimo. This figure I received about a month ago, and I apologize about the delay. Just been a lot of busyness in my life going on, and I haven't forgotten about this project. Don't expect nearly the delay for the Hiya King Ghidorah 91, which I will be covering on this channel. Without further delay, let's go ahead and talk about Shimo. The packaging for this Shimo is one of the best, featuring a great shot of Shimo, and throughout the edge of the box we have a nice little frost filter. In the background we have a nice Gaussian blur, and of course beautiful bokehs throughout. Finally we have the Shimo logo, which this is the first time I've actually seen this particular logo. Maybe it's appeared on other pieces for marketing purposes, but I've yet to see it anywhere else personally, so it's a first for me. Flip to the sides and we have a hexagon shot displaying Shimo's spines, and on the opposing side, another angle with more spines. On the back we feature the GXK logo with 2 promotional shots of Shimo herself. Finally a QR code that will simply take you to the WeChat app. Now let me say this figure is simply one of those figures that upon seeing the pictures online or watching reviews, or even this review, it does not do the full justice when talking about this action figure's paint apps. Initially I didn't notice it, but when you look at the texture and the scales, the paint apps are not exactly flat, but rather glossy. Upon closer inspection you'll also notice that the plates and the scales, in fact, under the correct lighting you will notice a subtle gold paint application. And this will cause this figure to have somewhat of a sparkle. And you can definitely catch this detail on the arms and the legs big time. And let's get an in-depth look at the mold. Now one of my favorite aspects about this action figure is the body is just not a simple white. Take a look at the back and you'll notice a light blue fade right around the spines. And this continues all the way out throughout the back of the action figure all the way down to the tail. Even for whatever reason on the left side of the head there is some blue, and I don't think this is meant to be, due to the fact on the right side of the head it just lacks it. So I'll chalk this up as a quality paint app issue, but this is something I'm not letting it take too much away from this action figure because it's still a beast. Because I applaud the range of blues in the spines and on the horns. The crown horns actually make use of both a light blue and dark blue, with also a touch of turquoise, with some notable sparkles if the lighting just hits it correctly. And this approach continues on the back spines. In fact, the lower part of the spikes actually becomes more purple, fading to light blue to turquoise. Smaller spikes continue the same trend throughout the back of the tail, and the same idea for the unique tail spikes on the tip of the tail. Move to the hands and feet, and the fingernails and toenails both all have this nice blue paint job. Flip over her hands and just take in the texture on the palms as well, which this just is astounding. And if you look closely at the fingers, you'll also note the letters and numbers used to indicate the left and the right hand, and which finger pops in where. Switch gears to the mouth and you see a nice variety of fleshy colors. The teeth are small and jagged and actually don't look terrible, but neither are they anything to brag about. Every part of the detail on this big girl is just drawn to the eye. Let me give you one better look at the arm scales, the hands, the head, side of the body, tail, and the belly. The eyes are a little beady, and I do feel like they could be better, but the overall mold and paint apps are just done masterfully. So now we gotta get into the articulation, which is one of the strong points for this action figure. As usual and as you'd expect, the jaw opens, allowing us to move this tongue also up and down. The neck has 2 points of articulation, gaining us some extra range. The arms roll all the way around for a nice swiping motion. We have a cut in the bicep, nice range for the elbows, and 2 cuts around the wrist, furthering the range. And nextly is one of my favorite aspects debuting for a Hiya Godzilla figure. Individual finger articulation, all on ball joints. And it doesn't matter how you look at this really helps out for the creativity of the articulation of this action figure. The body has 2 more cuts for more range, the legs swing in and out with some restrictions, minorly, for more cuts on the legs, and when we get to the feet we have no toe articulation. But you can rock the feet around and make it as if she's in a sprinting position. And finally when we take a look at the tail, we have 8 different cuts in the tail, giving us some mild range, but not as fluid as Godzilla 2014. But the articulation is one of the biggest W's for this action figure, and it's one of the areas that as a consumer, I've watched Hiya improve on big time. And the best part is the joints are not super stiff, nor super loose, and I'm genuinely curious to see about how these joints will hold up as time goes on and articulate her more throughout the years. Now unfortunately there are no accessories with this action figure, and I'd assume that there might be a possible beam effect in the future for a second variant of a Shimo figure that's charging up with glowing eyes, so the price you're paying is just for this lone action figure. So let's go ahead and do a few size comparisons and bring into frame some classic Toho monsters and MonsterVerse kaiju. Godzilla 2019, Godzilla 2014, Female Muto, Skull Devil GVK, SH Monster Arts Godzilla Evolved, SH Monster Arts Kong 2021, Hiya King Ghidorah 2019, NECA Burning Godzilla. Now overall I do believe this was a grand debut for Shimo for the Exquisite Basics line. I had to order mine off Calcus.com, and this order was put in before April 28th and it ran for $90 flat. I do believe this figure was worth the price I paid and it stands out as a favorite of mine considering I have 5 Godzillas from Hiya. It was nice to have another kaiju in the collection that's not Godzilla and quite a bit new to the big screen, and is finally getting her collectible action figures on the market as of now. I'm just hoping that the articulation holds up with the weight of the action figure, and personally I'm not seeing a lot of issues right now, and it's nice this figure doesn't require a hairdryer right off the bat. Now do I expect another figure variant of Shimo from Hiya? I feel like that's definitely in the cards, but please keep in mind this is not confirmed, this is just my speculation. And not to knock on SH Monster Arts too much because yes I know they're an easy target, but this figure is far more affordable and more screen accurate and true to what we see in the movie. I can't explain their choice of black toenails or the overall paint apps, because nowhere does it appear there's much variant in the choice of colors on SH Monster Arts Shimo. If you wish to order your own, I've left a link down below in the info section. With that said, like, subscribe, share my content, and let me know what you make of this Hiya Shimo action figure, if you're going to purchase it or if you're going to pass on it. And I'll catch you in the future, and I have a few new projects on the way. Peace!